What is going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Dent Digest live show. Thanks for joining us. I've got a special guest. I've got Aaron here from Dentless. What's going on, Aaron?
Not much, Ryan. Finished a day's training with Mike, so just chilling with all my friends in my hotel room.
So, I want to. We'll go into your story here shortly. I want to kind of recap on last week's show, just kind of the MME recap, which you were there. That's where we met. That's where I got my stubby holder. So I'm trying to get down with this Aussie.
You haven't given me that money for that, by the way, yet.
I know this, and this is actually a really nice stubby holder. It really is. So last week we were talking about MT, going through the whole process of kind of what we were doing there and how good the event was, and Mike was kind of recapping, and I'm sure you've already started to get some of the photos that we've slowly been running into.
Yep.
What's your thoughts
on the whole thing, or just the photos?
The photos.
Look, the photos are fantastic. I mean,
yeah.
The amount of gear that was bought for those photos was just unreal. Like, he had every light box, 50 million cameras. He was getting the perfect shot. So
yes.
And I've had a bit of a sneak peek with some of the photos that Mike's done, and man, they are just fantastic. They really are.
Totally. I mean, David definitely knows what's going on. How to get the right lighting. I was like, just Cole's shop period. I kind of was like, man, this is perfect lighting. He goes, I don't even use it. So, but no, it was a great time. Really good people, quality people, and quality information. And I don't know if you guys have kind of heard, we kept talking about it. I posted this week. Mary is doing her little charity thing with the t-shirts that they're, getting out there and trying to make its run. They're really cool t-shirts. I've got one here. I want to kind of show you guys the Eat, Sleep, Push, Repeat shirts. So if you guys want one of these, go to Dent Time. If you go to his Facebook page, there's a link there too. And just try to help Mary out. She's got a pretty cool trip planned, and I thought it was a good cause. I think it's a great t-shirt. So get yourself one of those.
Mine's coming tomorrow.
Oh, man. Look at that. And I don't know if you guys can see in the background there with Aaron's bed over there. That thing is full of tools, I see. So,
So that thing full of circus rods.
Hey, it's a good tool.
I had to get some tester tape from the guys in the Anson van, because I bought it at Mega Media event, and tape up all the tips, because it would have just gone straight through my bag.
Oh yeah. They don't have little pieces of rubber hose on them, huh?
Nope.
Oh man.
Craig actually cut himself as he was getting him out of the van. He reached in to grab him and nicked his arm on one, and yeah.
They're super sharp tool. I mean, they're brutal.
Yeah, they look good. I'm looking forward to getting use out of them.
We always like to bring on some new tools. I did get some stuff in the mail actually today. I've had it, but I got two more because I absolutely love this tip. It's a Dent Tools Pee-wee. This tip, I was a big VIP guy for a long time. And everybody at MME is like, you got to try this tip. I can't believe you don't have it. You got to try it. It's now the VIP replacer. This tip is awesome. And I'm hard on my knockdowns, so It works really, really well. It's awesome.
Did you get the set?
I did. I got the silencer, and then I don't remember what the other one was called, but I just ordered these when I got back because I was like, I love that tip, and he sells out of them so fast.
Yeah.
So I ordered 2 more of the Pee-wees because I had to have them, and then I ended up getting my replacement for my 308 tip. So Woody came out with this tip just recently. I don't know if you guys can kind of see it there. But I have his 308 tip, which is much longer, but he was having troubles with the threads kind of breaking off in the tool. So he's replacing them with those. Super fine. Excuse me. Super fine. Really good with a hail rod. Stubby holder. So I'm sure you're with Mike, and you know you guys are a hop, skip, and a jump away from Ultra. I'm sure you got some Ultra stuff. So what do you got over there?
Well, that box has got a bit in it. Yeah, I got about just over $2,000 worth of Aussie dollars worth of tools, which at the moment's about $5 worth of US dollars. But but no, look, I got some. A lot of the stuff was going into the toy chest at Mike's place, and just getting to touch and feel and actually get on a dent and push with everything. So I spent kind of the first week just playing with stuff, and I've gone and bought I bought the pick set. I bought Mike's custom double bend pick set. I got a couple of longer rods with the interchangeable tips, all in octagon. I got a couple of spare octagons because I've got some Dentcraft stuff at home that I want to chop off and put the octagons on, because it's just so much better for you, and not as much pain on your wrist when you can get that handle into the actual spot you want it to be and leverage off it.
Totally.
So,
totally.
Yeah. But I also bought some stuff at Mega Media event. As I said, I got the Zircus rods. I bought the lift right. I bought the Daniel Grom hammer. I bought tabs, glue. Yeah.
Look at that.
The Lucky Sevens. I bought a couple of the Lucky Sevens.
Have you used them yet?
No. I lie. I used one at Mike's shop, but not my ones are still in the box.
Yeah.
So
how's your trip? Let's get into your introduction. So you own a company called Dentless.
Yep.
And you're from Australia.
Yep.
So I wanted to get the Aussie on before he left town.
And yes, we do have electricity there. Yeah.
But okay, and I'm going to bring this up early. Let's get this going early. So I don't know if everybody saw Mike Toledo. I think it was Vince's post about Vegemite.
Yeah. It's our secret tool. Like, you guys always looking for extra leverage. I noticed John Hiley and Mike are all going to the gym now and stuff like that, man. All you need in Australia is some of that, and you just have nice soft pushes. It's the best.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you guys.
It's the tool of the week.
It is the absolute worst thing I've ever tasted my whole life. It really was, because they're going around the room and they're like, try this, and I just go dibbing in. I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like chocolate. You stick it in your mouth and you're like, oh hell no, this is not chocolate. It was terrible, and it tastes like a not reduced demi glaze that they're gonna put on a steak or like a stew, like a meat. It was just so salty.
It's mainly salt and yeast extract.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know how much it's got lots of vitamins in it, and B vitamins for vitality. So
how do you eat that?
So you eat it on a piece of bread, like a spread. So like you guys would have, say, like a jam or peanut butter. You put this on there. It's actually funny because I brought it over for breakfast because I have it on toast most days, or a sandwich with a piece of cheese or something like that. And I think Mike thought I was bringing it over as a bit of a joke. And I think it was on about the third day I bought some bread in and as a sandwich. And Mike's like, "Oh, did you bring lunch today?" I said, "Yeah, I bought a Vegemite and cheese sandwich." He's like, no way, you didn't do that." I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And his other tech, Tim, was there. And I'm like, "Yeah, it's in the fridge." And I went over and grabbed it, and Mike's looking at it. He's like, "Get out of here. I'm not going anywhere near. You actually eat that crap?"
My wife knew exactly what it was when I came home. I was like, we had this Australian guy here, and they brought some stuff, some weird cookies and this spread stuff. And I said it was terrible. And she's like, "What was it?" I was like, "Something veggie." And she's like, "Oh, Vegemite. Yeah. I was like, yeah. We're not ever having this here. We're good."
She tasted it?
I don't know. I don't know if she's had it before, but she knew what it was.
Well, it's your birthday next week. I'll send you some over.
And then I'm going to have to go Facebook Live.
You can do a Facebook Live of Happy Birthday Vegemite Day.
I'm going to try it on a piece of bread with cheese. I'll try it for you.
All right.
So this guy, we met at the Mega Media event, and I went up and I did my whole boring speech about brownies, and comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, I got a gift for you." And he gives me this stubby holder. So that was really thoughtful. I really appreciate it. Gonna keep bringing up the stubby holder.
Branding, so I thought you would actually appreciate that. Beautiful.
This is a good one. This is a good one. And let me tell you guys, we call them koozies. Remember koozies?
Yep.
But this thing is like a full wetsuit. These things, you can't really see it, but it's really thick. So
it's hot over in Perth. Australia's a place.
My new stubby holder. So we're supposed to go out Saturday, and I'm going to go ask about if they have any stubbies, see what their faces look like. So I wanted to get you on the show. Your situation's kind of unique with training with Mike. You're kind of self-taught, correct?
Yeah. So I guess so I bought a paintless dent repair business off a gentleman who was doing local wholesale yards and a little bit of retail. And I really had no idea about paintless dent repair. I kind of went out with him, watched him for half a day, and went, "Man, this is easy. Look at this guy," and I was hooked, and I liked looking what he was doing, and I found it interesting and whatever. And so I took over his business, and day one he came over to my house and set a stand up and spent half an hour with me and said, "Here, follow the tip with the light for the next 8 hours, and I'll be back in the afternoon." And kind of like on the second day, I'm thinking, what the hell did I just do? And I invested a lot of money into this business to get into this business. And I was like, man, I was devastated. I was like shocked. And obviously he gave me about 6 months with me. But obviously knowing what I know now, the training was not, it was what he could give me. And he was, it was the best he could give me, but he wasn't a trainer. Now seeing what Mike does and the way Mike goes about how he because I'm actually training with a guy who is a first upper. His first day of pushing dents was last Monday, 2 Mondays ago, sorry. And seeing the process that Mike has gone through, fast forwards everyone so much quicker. This guy's using sharp tips like on day 3, and I'm still rolling my tip around under a bonnet on day 3, still trying to find out where the hell my tip was. So, and he was a little bit old school with his approach of training. No such thing as really soft tips or one knockdown. basic tools, never really spent any money on tools, not to the extent that I do. So I pretty much, it was either sink or swim in a massive, massive way. I had my whole family's life on the line, and it was sink or swim. So I just engrossed myself in this, and I love it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very much one of those people that I always think things happen for a reason. And I was just engrossed in this, and I love it, which is great.
Yeah.
So I just jumped on Dent Trainer, followed as many dent guys as I could on Facebook, and kind of just self-taught myself for the last 3 years.
So guys asking, who broke the door glass today?
Well, it actually happened last week, but we had the windows down and no one really noticed. And it wasn't till we wound one of the windows up, and I don't know, you guys obviously know more than me. I don't have that make a model there. We've got that type of car, but it doesn't have double glazed windows. So I didn't even look. Mike's had those type of cars as training cars before, and he's never realized that they had double glazed. And we just wound the windows up, and we wound one of them up, and we're like, oh no. So that was on Tuesday. And yesterday morning I went in and I said, Mike, did you check the passenger side or the driver's side? And he's like, no. So then we wound that. It was like a 2-for-1 offer.
So Mike bought some windows this week. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we've got Bill Ramsey here from Western Australia.
Hey,
another Aussie in here.
My neck of the woods.
So you learned with the guy you purchased the company with. You kind of watching Facebook and Dent Trainer, and you decided to come to the Mega Media event. So that was your first. So this poor guy's been here 3 weeks now.
Yep.
Right?
Just done.
So you come to the Mega Media event, and what do you...
Well, look, I was planning on coming last year. And I didn't have enough financially. I didn't have enough money to stay for 3 weeks and do training and Mega Media event. So I invested a bit of money into rebranding and websites, and and a lot of money on tools. And the basis that this year I would come and really try and push myself to that next level with skill set with Mike, and try and double up at the same time with Mega Media event. And that, if you haven't been to Mega Media event and you're going, oh, it's so much money, you need to look at it the other way and go, how much money am I losing not going to this thing?
Mm-hmm. And I said this to Mike and John. I pulled John aside and I said, I was wrong. And he's like, what do you mean? And I said, a couple years ago, I looked at this and said, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. Can't believe guys are paying money to go to this. It's never going to work.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
further from the truth.
Bro, it's if you're not going, you're missing out.
Yep. I mean, you pay the money just to listen, like Lynn that was speaking on Google and AdWords and stuff like that. The amount of information that he gave, that there is worth the price of admission.
Oh,
then
yeah.
you've got the photos, which are worth more than the price of the admission. You can't, I don't know. You just can't, you can't look at it as an expense. It's how much money am I losing not going to this thing. Yeah. And it's so professionally run.
It is.
It
really is.
It was so much better than I even thought it was going to be.
And it was just, I get asked, a lot of my shops knew I went away, and they were like, how was it? And I was like, it was awesome. Like, just the people there, everybody was there for a reason, and there were zero egos. Just everybody kind of clicked and we went outside and talked and BS'd and, you know, I mean, we went to dinner the last night. There was 45 of us there. You know what I mean? I mean, it was just a really good event. And I mean, if you take one thing from that whole event, what did you take from that event?
Look, for me, the main thing that I got out of it was networking. Obviously, being on the other side of Australia, not really knowing any other dent guys, just networking with people was fantastic. That to me was worth everything, and that was part of the reason I went over. I mean, you remember, I live in the most isolated city in the world. Basically, it's the most isolated geographically from any other city in the world, and I mean, I flew over and I got up in the morning and I listened to you guys on your podcasts and Mike and John and Don, and I watched Scotto. I listened to all these guys' podcasts, and for me, you guys are like heroes. You're like you guys are like the heroes for me, the movie stars for me. I mean, I walked out for breakfast the first morning, and I walked in and I turned my head, and you were sitting with Mike at a table with Scotto, and I was like, I wanted to bring one of my tools over and get them signed, and exactly like what you just said, I walked up from Perth, no one knows me, and everyone was so friendly, so willing to talk about anything and everything. There was no like groups of, oh, they're the big boys and these are the little boys, median. Everyone was mingling with everyone. I had an amazing chat with Matt Moore from Isident.
Yep.
Man, he's just got so much knowledge and experience of what he's done. And same thing, he was so open to just chat about what he's done and say, look, this is what I've done wrong. This is what I want to do right. And, again, you spend the money to go to an event like this, it could cost you more money in something that you didn't learn from someone in an error in your business.
100%. 100%. It's and I can say one thing. When I saw you first walk up, I'm like, man, this guy's wearing some weird pants. But his pants have it's almost like a work belt built into the pants, right? Like, look at this thing. It's got little satchels on are they built-in knee pads?
Mate, they are built-in knee pads.
Come on.
And I felt like an absolute weirdo on the first day because I rocked up and everyone's wearing their jeans, and the only reason I wore them is because I wanted my business photos through the ones at Making Media event to actually look like what I wear at work.
Of course. And
I'm like walking around going, man, all these guys are like got their business shirts on, but jeans and casual, and literally before the event started, I think it started at 8:30 or something, I'm sitting down on my own and this guy leans over and goes, man, where did you get those pants from? They are sick. And I had, no lie, I reckon 10 people the whole time asked me about my pants. Derek Yost is like, where did you get those things from?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. I mean, I hate carrying, I do a lot of yard work, and I hate carrying around a knee pad and up, down, and you miss, and you catch a bit of pavement, you take skin off, and like that is, man, these are the money.
So who makes them? Like, what's the
brand is called Snickers.
Snickers.
Like the chocolate bar.
Okay.
And they're called floor layer pants. So guys like putting wooden floorboards down.
Yeah.
But the material on the knees is called Kevlar, which is like the stuff that motorcyclists have on their pants to stop the abrasion.
Yeah.
So they last ages. The knee pads come out. You can wash them, and the little pockets on the side, you can put knockdowns in there.
That's what I liked. I was like, that's like a built-in told
Yeah.
about. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I think Mike said he was going to get some to put his drill bits in.
I'm sure. I mean, he's got all different sizes, so. So the Dent Dundee.
Oh.
You guys are speaking different language up here.
Yeah. Well,
so they're from the UK, you said. The pants are.
Yeah. Yep. 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 So I think that costs like $100 or something in freight to get to Australia, and they come in 3/4 as well for when it's a little bit warmer. They're not really.
That's good.
They're not really that fashionable in 3/4 pants, but
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So you're training with Mike for 2 weeks. I don't know if you guys have seen this. So Mike has been posting your Tesla fender. And let me tell you, that thing was gnarly. It was gnarly. So let's get into your training. How's it going?
Awesome. Loving it. I came over here because I didn't know whether I was a good tech, a bad tech. I was like way below where I should be in 3 years, well above where I should be in 3 years, or right where I should be after 3 years. I had no idea. I mean, I knew I wasn't doing horrible repairs, but I didn't know. When you don't have anyone to judge it other than the customer going, that's great, but let's be frank, most of our customers have never had PDR done before, so they don't know. A lot of them don't know whether it's good and bad.
Yeah, of course.
So that's kind of why I came over, and I wanted to push myself. I don't want to be the world's best tech. I'm not ever going to be entering the MTE or World Cup, but I want to be the best I can be. So that's why I came over to train with Mike, and it's been great. Like Mike he's got every tool known to mankind. So you can come over and try new stuff, and he talks you through it. And he'll let you make errors too, and say, look, what did you learn from that? So that was good. I mean, that Tesla came in, and I saw the customer rock up, and he parked outside of Mike's shop, and I'm like, woohoo! I'm going to enjoy watching Mike do that. I'm going to learn a lot watching him do that. And then it got booked in, and I think it was the next day this thing came in, and I'm just looking at that going, is he actually going to do that? Like, we all seen dents on photos, but I mean, that thing was nasty.
Yes.
Apparently the customer had cardboard boxes that fell off his garage and came down and just got like the perfect angle to hit both of those body lines and just mangle them. And like Mike said, he goes, did you say cardboard boxes, or did the cardboard box have a fridge inside it? So yeah, and Mike's like, hey, you're doing that, and look, I was nervous as all hell doing that. It's we don't have a whole pile of Teslas over there. I've worked on a couple, but nothing like that. And same thing. I don't know if I know definitely I would not have repaired it to that level without Mike's guidance, because I would have used different tips, and I would have tried from different spots, and I wouldn't have had the tools that we used in the end as well, and it just wouldn't have turned out that nice. But knowing what I know now, his advice, and he talked me through that whole thing. At times when I'm pushing, he's like, nope, stop. You need to open that up, take some tension off, and get back in there. And I'm going, really? And, he makes you stop, you open it up, and voila, it comes out clean as a whistle.
Yeah, so. It looked. So what would you say the best tool that you use for that?
Oh, it was the dent dial. I think we used a 22 light. I mean, we spent, between us, reckon both our brains, we spent about 3.5 hours just trying to get tools coming up under the guard, trying to get a dent dial in there to start with, trying to get a care point bar, trying to get an anaconda bar, trying to side load off a 90-degree bend. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the tools that we had on the desk, but we were so peeved that we were just getting tools and just bang, shove them on the desk, bang, next.
Yeah.
And then eventually we went back to the dent dial, which was one of the first ones we started with. And Mike went over to his motorcycle tank vise and just bent this thing so it was like curved down, then up to get over one of the lips in the bonnet, and then back down and then back up sharply to be able to get the leverage. And then we had 2 extensions with midpoints and tape, and it was I had nightmares.
I saw that the dent dial was kind of just bent all different ways, but
that's what we learned, though.
Yeah. I mean, I had a fender today that I bent it all over the place, and the good thing with that tool is there's so much drive and there's so much leverage a lot of times. I have a 22 heavy dent dial, and it stays bent the same way almost all the time because that's all I use on fenders.
I'm the same.
I don't know how I was fixing stuff before without it.
Yeah, I agree. We actually use this too. I bought this on to show. I don't know how many people have got one of these. This is a bean bag from Ultra. And same thing, just putting that under the bonnet there just gave us just enough room to put the dent dial in there to get that leverage, because it was, again, we would have to bend the dent dial, something chronic, and the amount of time that we were pushing on that on the inside of the bonnet and on the brackets, you just couldn't keep it stable. And this just kept the dent dial nice and stable, right where you wanted it, and you can push off. It was just perfect. So of course I had to buy one of those as well.
What was the price on that? Do you remember?
I think it was about $40, something like that. This is US. I think they come in a box of 3 for about 130. But don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like, really valuable tool. Again, it doesn't scratch, and you can put your tools on there and you're not scratching the inside of anyone's. You can put it on a rim, on a tire as well, to get a little bit more leverage as well. But yeah, that's a must-have as well.
What else did you get over there from Ultra? You have another tool you were showing me earlier.
So I got my custom bend. Sorry, that way. So it's got the quick release on one end and the octagon on another. I think it's 1/2 inch. Again, good for like levering if you've got a straight rod down to the tire. Sometimes your arm's like really low. This, you can just bring your arm up and get your body into it a little bit more. And in the wiring harness, instead of your arm being sort of straight like that, you can bring your arm back and really get stuck into it. So yeah, I mean, that was a must-have as well. But everything's a must-have at Mike's shop. It's so good.
Of course.
I was like a kid in a candy store last week at the Hanson van at Mega Media, and then in Mike's tool chest. I mean, wow.
So right now in your business, what are your biggest struggles?
I think that initially it was skill set, thinking that my skill set wasn't there. I think I'm probably better than I thought I was.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to gloat or anything, but I think the amount of time that I put in watching Dent Trainer, sitting up till 11 o'clock while my wife's watching telly, and I'm doing accounts and watching Dent Trainer at the same time, that's helped me significantly. But yeah, look, I'm going to start to branch more out into the retail side of things. I think that's where the industry's headed more. I don't know how long small car yards are actually going to be around, the wholesale lots. I kind of look at it, there'll probably be a few, but I think that you'll probably have big, massive warehouses, which is like what you guys have more over here. And I just enjoy the interaction with the general public as well.
Yeah, it for me, it's, and I do a lot of mobile, and I just enjoy meeting different people and having good conversations.
Yeah.
You know, it's I mean, I had a guy watch me for 3.5 hours today. Just sat there and watched me work. And
did you charge him 20% extra for that?
Actually, I had his kid was there, so his kid sat there on the step at first.
Well, that's 40%.
You know, babysitting and fixing a dent at the same time. So we were doing really well today.
Yeah.
You know, so right now you're mostly wholesale.
Mostly wholesale. I got one of the Mega Media websites. I'm going to get back and really start to push that. I do some Facebook and Instagram stuff, and you know, really getting a hold of that social media side and starting to push that, and yeah, hopefully do a bit more retail work. I'd like to maybe get another tech trained up to come and work for me as well. There's definitely room for it, I think, if it's done the right way and the person's trained the right way. So yeah, that's kind of where the business is headed, I think.
That's good.
That's my plan. That's my plan anyway. And you've got to have a plan, otherwise it's just a wish.
I think don't rush into it. I think you should keep your wholesale stuff, keep it going, and then just slowly build that retail end. And as soon as your name gets out there, you're going to be fine. You know, it just kind of, all the dominoes fall in effect in the line. You know what I mean? It just kind of starts this animal rolling. I say it's like you're climbing up a hill, and you get to the top of the hill, and then you're slowly rolling down, and then it just takes off from there.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just takes a while, you know, and I think you have done all of the really, really hard stuff already. You know, the website, you've got a really good website. You know, your branding, I think a lot of your stuff that you've done on the back end, I think, is going to help you really project yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I did some stuff, some of the things that the guys have talked about from last year's Mega Media event. I kind of locked onto a bit of that stuff and tried to put some of that in place before I got there. And, you know, I'm like most people, I got a head for radio. I don't want to be in front of a camera either. But that's the way your business is going to evolve, and you have to do that, and you have to get past that awkward stage to get to the next level. I mean, I spoke with Eric Emerson at length. Lovely guy.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, I'm a bit nervous about getting on camera. And we said on mics today, you know, something is better than nothing. And
he did his first video yesterday.
He did his first video yesterday, and it was great.
It was great. It was actually great.
And, you know, I'm sure he's looking at it. We send a couple messages to each other, but I'm sure he's sitting there going, oh, I don't like it, and it's not very good or whatever. But it was great. That's all you need to start with, especially.
I mean, you kind of roll. You know what I mean? It's like you just get so comfortable. Now, I've been doing it for a little while, obviously, but now it's just kind of like, all right, let's do this. Boom, boom, you knock out the first take. Before, I was taking 13, 15 takes of stuff, and now you just roll through it, and you learn that people like the real stuff. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be over-edited. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you mess up words, I mean, it's funny. In one of my videos, I did a review on a tool, and I was like, the tool's super optionable, you know, and I was editing it, and my wife's like, what is optionable? That's not even a word. I was like, yeah, I make up my own words. You know, and the next day I have Mark Blem says the word of the day, optionable. you know what I mean? You just roll with it.
Yeah. Well, look, I stopped. Shout out to a couple of guys down in Perth there that I know are listening to this, because they're probably the only two people in Western Australia that listen to this stuff. They're from a bumper company called the Bumper Man. And he's just got a new franchisee on board doing like paint correction and buffing and stuff like that. And I've been saying, man, you got to do some videos. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we did a video together. I put it on my Facebook, and then he tried to do his own one. And he's talking, you know, and he's doing a 3-stage paint correction. And sure enough, he's sitting there and he's like, oh, you know, my name's Owen, and you know, I'm just here doing a 3-stage paint erection on this Mazda RPS. And I stopped him, and I'm like, dude, you can't say that. But in hindsight, if he'd kept that going, man, he would have had heaps of paint erections.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And it would have just gone skyrocketing up.
He would have crushed it.
He would have crushed it. Just like Mike's first video. I don't know if anyone's heard that. When he was like pumping the dent out from the shadow or whatever, you know? And he's like, take it down. And now he said, I wish I'd kept that up, because I'd have like 5 million hits on my dent YouTube page.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you know, and it's still never comfortable. You know what I mean? I said to my wife, I do this show every week, you know, and it'll get 300 views by tomorrow or whatever. And I'm like, I'm kind of nervous about speaking at the mega media event. She's like, why? You've done speaking before. And I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of nervous. I don't know why. And, you know, and it was fine, you know. But when we did the interviews with Mike, you know, we're in the room.
Blubbering mess.
And no, it's like I'm so trained to look at the camera, because I'm usually either filming myself or Shane's filming me. It was hard for me to look at Mike over here, and I'm such a hand mover. I talk with my hands all the time that I'm talking, and he's like, put your hands down. So I'm sitting on my hands staring at Mike. It was so hard. That's what I said. I said, dude, I do this every week, but it just happens. You know what I mean? And that's what I said to Mike. Mike explained that a lot of guys were super nervous and really kind of scared to do it. And I said, you need to understand this, Mike. And he's like, what's that? I said, you're Mike Toledo. A lot of these guys have been watching you for years, and you are the Babe Ruth or Cal Ripken Jr. that they're in the room with one-on-one, and he's speaking to you, and you're on camera. So you need to look at it that way. And he's like, I guess you got a point.
Yeah,
you know, so it's.
But he's such an easygoing guy, Mike. Like, now I've known him for 2 weeks. Like, he's just such an easygoing, nice guy, and you know, you don't have to worry about any of that. But it is. I know exactly. Like I said earlier, these guys are like the celebrities for us. So,
you know, I've said this to a lot of people. Look at Bill Ramsey. He's from Perth, south of the river. You should chat.
I don't know if we talk to people south of the river.
So I got Dwayne is asking, are you going to Summer Nats?
No. I've lost all my holidays coming here. I got to get back to work, unfortunately. So. Yeah.
So, you know, I would love to come to Australia. I like to see some kangaroos, and, you know, you guys have that killer. What is that? I've seen it before. I don't remember the name of it. It's like that half moon shape thing. It's like for concerts and stuff. The Olympics were there.
Opera House?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sydney's beautiful. That's the whole other side of Australia that I'm at, but it's a beautiful place. It's expensive to live there, but it's a beautiful place, Sydney.
How far are you from Sydney?
About a 5-hour flight. So
okay,
yeah.
So it's like me to California. So
4 days driving nonstop, pretty much.
So what kind of vehicle do you work out of?
I've got a Mazda BT50, which is what we call a dual cab ute, which is like like you guys have a Colorado, I guess, or a Ford
Yes.
Ranger. It's the same size as a Ford Ranger. So your cars are just on steroids, basically.
So everything's small there.
Yeah. Yeah. Not yeah. I mean, we do have the odd F-250 or, Silverados. I think I said to you earlier, like a Silverado is $150,000 for an LTZ Silverado, because they've got a exchange rate, convert it to right-hand drive because we drive on the proper side of the road. And yeah, it's
Hold on. Did you just say the proper side?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't even
Oh
know.
my God. I was walking. We're down at Colorado after the electric vehicle course, and mate Kevin Ferguson from KDR Dent Repairs, Grandpa, as everyone was calling him,
Yes.
but he can party harder than most, so that's
Yeah.
And we're walking down the road, and we were like so worried we were going to get hit by a car, because instincts just kick in, and we look to the right to look for the cars coming, and you just take a step and bang, you get collected on the left. Every set of lights, we're walking up to it and hitting the button, waiting for the man to say you can walk across the road, because you just don't think about it. You just get nervous. Yeah. Bang, straight into it.
Did you have a rental car?
No way. No way. No way am I getting a rental car. It's not the excess. Like, nah. I got a shuttle and picked up from one of the people from the hotel when I was in Colorado. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not driving on this side. There's too many crazy people here.
You're scared to drive on the right side of the road is what it is.
Yeah. I did it many years ago in Maui on my honeymoon. And I don't know what I was thinking. I was young and crazy and in love.
Dwayne says he's worked with a lot of Holdens here in Tennessee, which is we actually have now. They're getting out of them. All of our police, like our state police, had a bunch of them that they call Caprices, but it's a Holden.
Yep.
So, and it's weird because you look at the car and there's like a trunk release on the passenger door instead of the driver's door. So there was stuff that didn't get converted over, but
yep.
You know,
how long it took me to open the boot on the Tesla, the bonnet on the Tesla, or hood, you guys call it hood. I'm in there looking for these pull buttons, and Mike's like, it's on the screen. And I'm like, going through all the menu, and what the hell is this thing?
Teslas are Model 3s are a little tricky if you don't know. It's a little overwhelming on the screen. So
yeah,
sometimes you don't even know when they're running.
Yeah.
I had a customer last week. I went to go fix her car, and I do a lot of Teslas. And she says, "Here, gives me your phone." And I'm like, "Why are you? I forgot my key. You have to take the phone." And put the phone on the console, and the car started. And I'm like, "That's scary." And another thing people don't know about Teslas is the customer can always watch you from home.
Oh, really?
So the cameras, they can click on and watch you.
Oh, we might be in a bit of trouble.
So, yeah, they can watch you driving. They can watch you working. So there's a lot of – they can't hear, but they can.
Well, I'm glad that's okay, because they would have heard a lot of four-letter words.
Yeah,
otherwise.
I'm sure.
You should have seen the customer, though. He was stoked when he picked that thing up.
Well, he doesn't have an option. That thing turned out awesome.
He walked around it, came back, and was like, "Man, can't believe you got it like that." Especially when Mike said to me after, he's like, "Man, I didn't think we were going to get that." Like,
yeah,
one of those, like, as he always says, try, and if you don't succeed, you don't quite get it, you learn.
That's exactly. I chalk it up as a learning experience. You know what I mean?
You get it, and you get paid for it.
Yeah. How much did he get for that repair? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
And if I look at that repair, I think for me, the hardest part of that repair would be because you had a double body line hit.
Yep.
And you had a move. The body line was moved over because of the crown. It was that swell, right?
Yep. And every time we tried to knock the crown, like we lifted, especially the second body line, which was the one lower, like closer to the tire, I guess, because we did the top one first because we thought that was going to be the hardest, and it was. But that bottom one, we lifted up that low below the crown, and then we'd knock the crown back down, and it would just go down again. So it was that give and take, not bring it back up a bit, knock the crown back down a bit more, bring it up a bit. It was a long repair. That took us over 2 days to do that. A lot of that was him showing me, and I'm nowhere near as fast as him. And but look, I learned so much off that one repair. He's just such a good teacher. He really is. He's super patient. As I said, he's willing to let you make errors in order to learn the right way, which I think is a good way. Sometimes you don't necessarily do that. He's not going to let you crack the paint in order to do that. But we've got another student there, Martin, who's a freshman, and he's just flying along, and he is super patient.
Yeah. So did you fix that quarter today?
Yeah, I got a fair whack of it out. The double kick that he did. Is that the one you're talking about on the quarter?
Yeah, it's silver quarter.
Yeah. So we got, I did some Glaxo, got that out, and started to push some of it out. And I'll probably finish it off in the morning. Hopefully I get enough time to it. I've only got a few hours before I have to jump on a plane and head back to Australia for a 30-odd hour trip home.
We got Matt from Get a Grip on here.
Oh, I got one of those, Matt. It's a nice hat.
So Matt owns Get a Grip. I'm a huge fan of the Strong Arm. That thing is, I've said it before, I think that's my tool of the year, the Strong Arm XL.
That's in that box.
That thing is awesome. I use it almost every day.
Yeah. Well, we used that the whole time we were repairing that Tesla. The whole time, keeping heat on it. Just had to. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to on those. You know what I mean? And the bad part is Teslas are tough because their paintwork is not very good. It does glue pull really well, but they're just not fun to work on. I remember when we were first talking, you guys were just starting to take the car apart, and I'm like, that thing's gonna suck.
It did suck.
So you go home on Friday.
Yep, tomorrow night. Fly from San Diego to LA to Sydney. There's like a 15-hour flight, I think. Then I got about a 4-hour stopover in Sydney before I fly back and see the family, which I can't wait for. My little girl's got signs made up already for me at the airport. I've never been away from my kids this long, so
3 weeks is a long time.
It is a long time, so I can't wait to get home to the kids and have some muck around in the pool and
some what?
Mucking around, playing.
Oh, okay.
Letting my 2-year-old try and drown me, which is pretty much how it goes.
Nice.
So
we do have some events I want to go over real quick. We're starting to run out of time. Well, obviously we have MTE coming up in January. We also have, I think, the PDR World Cup's coming up. I think maybe it's next week. I don't know the exact date. And our buddy Dave Fisher's in here. He was at MME. He's having his Dents for Kids on November 2nd in Pennsylvania. So if you guys are in Pennsylvania, hit Dave up. I'm sure he would love to have you guys over. Those Dent for Kid things are always fun. Free, charity weekends. It's always a good time. So, but you're obviously not going. We asked this earlier. Are you going to MT? Obviously, you're not, because you've been away for 3 weeks and spent a ton of money coming here.
A bomb. Worth every penny, though.
That's good. That's always good to hear. You know what I mean? That you're getting your money's worth.
And I bought these socks, Ryan, which I'm going to have on next time I have to work on a Tesla. It says, "Step aside coffee. This job is for alcohol."
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. Next time I get a Tesla, I'm going to have to wear them, I think.
With your 3/4 pants on.
My 3/4 pants on, yeah. I just rub some Vegemite on the dent.
Oh, my gosh.
Right out.
I'm going to have trouble sleeping tonight. Well, I'm
so good. Like, everyone I met at Mega Media event, thank you guys so much for saying hello. Everyone was just so happy and nice to see us. And, Kevin and I coming such a long flight there. You guys were so good to jump up and say hello and spill the beans with all your companies and tools that you use and stuff like that. I know Kevin and I appreciated that so much. We just felt like locals, basically.
Kevin walked up and he's like, "What's up, Ryan?" And I'm like, "Hey." And he's like, "I watch your show every week, and I'm from Australia." And I'm like, "Holy crap, you're from Australia? Man, you guys must not sleep, because it's like the next day or something, right?"
Yeah, so it's like 10 o'clock Friday. So, yeah, 10 o'clock in Friday morning over there. I mean, Kevin's probably had his pills now, and his hips working, and he's back up and running. And Kevin asked for it, wanted to use his seniors card at the Anson van, because he's a bit old. He wanted a discount, I think.
That's funny. He's a super nice guy. I mean,
awesome guy.
Straightforward, no BS. Really good conversation,
Ryan, I need to say, Ryan contacted me about 6 or 7 months ago through Facebook, because I put a post up on the Dent Trainer site. Reached out to me and said, "Hey, mate, I'm just like you on the other side of the country. Don't really know anyone. If you ever want to chat, please, this is my mobile number." Next day, I gave him a call, and we're going to be buddies for life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be around a whole lot longer than he is. But the guy is just the coolest guy, such a nice guy to talk to. We're both tool junkies. He's messaging me going, "What tools are you getting from Mike?" and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, just awesome if you've got a tech in your area and you want to have a chat with someone, just do it, because you'll have a friend for life.
Yeah, it's I talk to a lot of guys every day, and it's nice. It wasn't like this in the beginning for me. In the beginning, everything was hidden, and we didn't talk about a whole lot, and so it's nice to have those communications, because we all understand each other better than our friends do.
Yep.
We all understand our daily issues and our daily struggles and the rewards of things sometimes, so it's nice to have those conversations.
And let's be frank, dents are boring as anything. So unless you're not into it, you talk to someone for 30 seconds and they've tuned out. Whereas you can, I'll talk to Kevin about a dent for half an hour and he's engrossed in the conversation.
Yeah.
Which is why Mega Media event is so good.
Oh, yeah. Even little stuff. I mean, you were in the car with Mike when he called today, because I was like, "Man, you figured out," we were talking about this photo that he found at Mega Media, and he comes, ran up to me. He's like, "Hey, check this out." And I was like, "Man, that's awesome." And then today he figured it out how they did it. So he called, and it's just a really good. I say this, I think almost every show, that we're very lucky to have the industry that we do, and some of the people in the industry.
So passionate.
We're very lucky.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on.
No, thank you, Ryan.
Come on and get your little story out there and have some conversation. And how can people find you on social media?
So I've got Dentless Perth is my Instagram, or hashtag Dentless Perth. Dentless Perth Dent Repair on Facebook. So yeah, or dentless.com.au. You can jump on my website. So I would love to talk to anyone else about dents. None of my family wants to talk to me about them. So
I'm the same way. It's the same way here. That's why, I'll talk to Scotto or one of those, John, the Dent Reaper. A lot of these guys will talk periodically throughout the week. So, we're very fortunate here in the U.S. because we do drive on the right side of the road. But I
did my first Facebook Live today.
It was great.
And half the reason I did it is because all my friends were sound asleep because it was 1 o'clock in the morning.
You did fine. It was good.
It was good that Mike kicked the door in, or the quarter panel in for me.
Oh, it was terrible. I cringed. We were driving and I had it running on the truck, and I turned the volume all the way up and you could just hear it. And I was like, oh. It was funny when you told him your flight was leaving earlier than it really was. So.
Well, I got out of the car that we're just doing the training in, and he's like, Aaron, what do you like on big dents? And I said, well, what's a big dent to you, Mike? And as I said that, I'd walked around the side of the car, and he just goes, boom, and kicks the front fender in. I'm like, well, I guess that's a big dent. It was like my first 30 seconds of training.
That's funny.
Sink or swim.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on. I appreciate all the guys that are in here. We had a pretty good crowd here. Some really good questions. And, guys, every Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard. I think next week we're going to have a giveaway. So, U.S. only, though. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
$25 in postage.
But, I appreciate it. And, let me know if you need anything. We got the Facebook Messenger, so that's a little cheaper than, the Australian phone.
Send me your address so I can send you some of that Vegemite so you can.
Oh, that's so terrible. They may not even let it in here. They may say, no way.
The guy at Customs said you can take that stuff home because no Americans like that crap.
You're right. You're right. You're so right. Well, Aaron, I appreciate it. All you guys watching, I appreciate it. And remember, guys, keep it real. See you next week.
See ya.